Monitoring systems, interactive virtual training. And like I said, it really came from that conference more than anything. First thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about 5 critical needs. We're going to kind of briefly go over. Well, really, at this point, we're just going to name the 5 critical needs of a child. Critical 1 is respect. Critical 2 is important. They need to feel important. And 3 is accepted. 4, they need to be included. And 5, secure. So what we're going to do is we're going to have them using the polling system, and they have to decide. I'm going to give them a chance to think about these. Which one do you think is the most important for a child to have? Okay. And then we, like I said, we use the polling feature for them to decide which one. And it doesn't really matter. We just kind of want an idea which one, something fun to do so they can get an idea of what it's, which one they think is important. All right. So, and as they finish that, then we're going to read each one of these screens. If they chose respected, again, I'm going to let them share why they chose respected, and then I'm going to share this screen. Why, the need to feel respected. Children need to feel respected. For that to happen, they need to be treated in a courteous, thoughtful, attentive, and civil manner as individuals, deserving the same treatment as others. One of the best ways for children to learn about respect is to feel what it's like to be treated respectfully and to observe their parents and other adults treating each other the same way. In other words, you got to role model it. Same thing for, if they chose important, they're going to share, tell me why, and then we'll go, then I would share this with them. Feeling important refers to a child's needs to feel, I have a value, I'm useful, I have power. I am somebody. This need is evident at a very early age. Pressing the button in the elevator, me. Children want to do things themselves, and so often we get in their way. Adults need to avoid being all powerful, solving all family problems, making all decisions, doing all the work, controlling everything that happens, involve the children in this process. And you see that a lot where they don't think that the child is able to do this. The need to feel accepted. And again, we're going to let them share, those who chose accepted. Children have a need to feel accepted as individuals in their own right, with their own uniqueness, and not treated as mere reflections of their parents or others, as objects to be shaped in the image of what others believe the ideal child should look like. They have the right to their own feelings, opinions, ideas, concerns, wants, and needs. Discussions, even when in disagreement, can strengthen a relationship. So, for those who chose included, then let them share. Children need to feel included. They need to be brought in, to be made to feel a part of things, to feel connected to other people, to have a sense of community. It happens when people engage with others in activities and projects, when they experience things together in a meaningful way. And then again, same process with secure. Children need to feel secure. Security means creating a positive environment where people care for each other and show it, where people express themselves and others listen, where differences are accepted and conflicts are resolved constructively, where enough structure exists for children to feel safe and protected, and where they have opportunities to actively participate in their own evolution of that of the family. All right, and then as like I said, they've had a chance to share all those, but as far as it goes to children, and then I want to turn it around to them to think about this critical need as it relates to your staff. Do you think these needs still exist? Okay, why and why not? Is this need, if this need is present throughout our lives, how can we ensure we are meeting the needs of our staff for the betterment of the program as a whole? So instead of thinking about it as children, now we want to look at it as our staff. Then we're going to review our objectives. And like I said, I've not done this one, so I may have to kind of go back on my notes here and see. And I'm not going to read the objectives. You can read those, right? And we touch on coaching on this too, but not a whole lot. Okay, we're going to go into breakout groups at this time, and they are asked, what is effective supervision? And then I want them, when they come back, to at least provide 2 examples of effective supervision. Okay, so we want them to come up with that answer altogether. We're going to give about 5-7 minutes, I think it is, altogether. Again, if they don't know each other, they get the opportunity to introduce themselves, you know, and then share what their meaning is for effective supervision. And then what we're going to do is, after each group reported out, we're going to, let's see, I think we did like 3, it depends on how many people you have, that may be like three or 4 groups. Okay. As each one shares, then as I'm going through these, I want them, like, if there's one that they hear that may have been discussed in their ideas of what effective supervision, then I want them to use their answer, do the reaction thing, and you know, do a clap, do a high five or something like that, you know, on their screen, to say, oh yes, that one got covered, that one got covered. All right. So, you know, support growth. Did anybody talk about support growth? Then, you know, if anybody discussed that, then that's who you should see their hands coming up on their screen. Expect excellence with clear job descriptions. Instill different independence through risk-taking and delegation of tasks. Unite with your team. Require accountability. Share continuously using 2-way communication. Praise others with a formal recognition system. And verify potential and provide opportunities for success, and reinforce relationships through sharing and caring. Okay. And like I said, we're going to take a little bit more time. I'm not just going to read them out. You know, if they want to add to it, or, you know, we would definitely want to take that time to recognize who, if they realize that somebody did talk about it. Then we're going to talk about 6 potential issues with supervision and developing staff competence. You got your first issues, those staff members who have become your friend. Sometimes it's hard to delegate and get them to do what you want them to do. Issue 2, communication. Issue 3 could be training. Issue 4 could be employee evaluation. You may not do evaluations. Issue 5 is hiring and retention, because we got to be able to keep them. Issue 6, employee burnout and generational differences. It's those people who don't really want to change. All right, and at this time, we would use a protocol. It's called what, so what, now what. It's a protocol, again, that will be sent out to them earlier, so that, but they're going to go back into breakout groups, and they're going to describe the, and you would have the 6 this time, 6 different groups, okay? Because you have 6 different issues, if possible. Now, if you only have enough people to do 3 groups, then they would have 2 issues to discuss, all right? But describe the potential and its meaning. So what? Why is this issue important? Why do you have to deal with it? And what are the potential consequences of it? And then now what? Brainstorm ideas to help avoid, reduce, or eliminate these challenges. Okay. And they would have that handout with them about what that protocol is. And each person takes like 2 minutes to discuss each one of those questions in their group. Okay, depending on how many they got in there. But good thing about protocols, you can kind of adjust it and change it a little bit to fit the need that you need. And then, of course, then they're going to come back out, and then they're going to report out those answers. You know. All right, then we're going to talk about a supervisor versus coach. So a supervisor is a person with the official task of overseeing the work of a personal group. That person's going to come and say, hey, I need you to do da 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 da. You know, and that's all they ask. But a good coach must lay aside his or her own goals and allow the person being coached to develop those goals. That's where you're providing that support and direction while you're leading that teacher to do that. This is like, you really just want to tell them the value of why they need to be in the classroom doing observations. Okay. Because you get a lot of the directors that like, okay, like the one of them that we transferred over to you, I told you, her idea of classroom observation is looking at the monitor. Okay. You don't catch everything by looking at the monitor. They need to see that you are watching. You know, they need to know that you are stepping in that classroom and observing. Okay. Again, we're going to stress the importance of why you need to do classroom observations and the value of it, because it plays an important role in the performance management cycle. It has invaluable place in the priority lineup of administrative tasks to ensure high quality program, to ensure that development appropriate learning experiences are provided to children, and support strengths and weaknesses in staff. I wanted them to know that there's all different kinds of ways you can observe. It's not, you don't have to wait for somebody to give you a checklist to go on a checklist to do it. You could do it as a running record, just like, and if they know anything about class observation tool, they could use that as an example. You're just going in there for 20 minutes or 30 minutes and writing down everything you see here, and then you come out and you figure, okay, I need to work on this or this. And, it could be used to talk about a certain place or a certain time of the day. Okay. Again, nothing wrong with checklists. They help you so you don't forget to look at things, because a lot of times you have tunnel vision. I know I used to, because I was a quality assurance monitor with Head Start, and you get tunnel vision. You just, I know they got this. I know that, you check. But checklists kind of help you to remember you got to check stuff. What you need to check. You're looking for specific things, but they could be broad or they could be very specific. And then you can do recordings, just like that one director does. It's okay to do that, but if you don't never share those observations with your staff, then it's just a recording there that's helping you, and they may not know why you're trying to change something. You've got to share that with the staff and let them use that as a tool for them to set those goals together. A specific observation, it's planned time of observation to observe a certain activity. Again, kind of like that we're just doing the running record. I know I want to observe diaper changing, or I want to observe that transition time between outside and lunchtime. So I know I want to be in that room during that specific time. Or it could be random. Hey, I have an extra 30 minutes today. I'm gonna go pop in the classroom and just see what I can see what they're doing. So, and that's okay. Both of them are good. The point is, you need to be in the classrooms observing when you can. Then we're going to talk about when you do, we're going to talk about the different ways that you should be providing feedback to the staff. You should always begin with something positive. Because I'm sure, just like, we talk about whenever you're sharing information with your the parents about the children, start out with something positive. They don't want to hear that they've done something bad every time you show up. Point out improvements from the last observation if you had one. So, because you want to let them know that you are keeping up with what they've done in the past. Ask the teacher what he or she felt were areas of strength and areas that needed improvement. And just get their ideas. Again, you could even send them and talk to them about powerful questions if you wanted to. Discuss what you observed in detail without judgment. Stick to the facts and be objective. Like when you did take that running record, be specific. Don't give your opinion. Oh, well, I just assumed that you did this because. That's not what you observed. Is it what I observed in the room is you laid down the spray bottle on the table and then walked away because you walked away from the table. You walking away because you heard a child cry is my opinion. That's just what reason I think you did it. And most likely you did, but that's still my opinion. Okay. But you walking around from the table is factual. Okay. It has to be factual. And then here's a couple examples. You told him to sit down in a loud voice and he began to cry. Instead of saying you were mean to him, scared him and made him, instead of saying, you could have said, well, you were mean to him. No, wait a minute. You told him to sit down in a loud voice and he began to cry. That's factual. Instead of saying you were mean to him, scared him and made him cry. Okay, that was your opinion. Okay, so it's got to be factual. I'll get it out in a second. Like I said, I hadn't done this in a while since I wrote it. Okay, and then you're going to talk about the praise sandwich. So you start the conversation with something positive, something the person has done, strength, something they've done correctly. Then share the areas needing improvement and work towards next step goals, SMART goals. And then end it with praise, with conversation, with something positive, a strength or something the person does well. Leave a conversation with a good taste in your mouth. Then we're going to talk about the two different types of feedback. You've got supportive, where they feel supported, is commenting on the teacher's correct implication of the skill with specifically and sincerity. And then specific encouragement to the teacher to affirm strength, note improvement in practice, implementation, or highlight accomplishments. Because if I come in and say, you're not allowed to do that, that's not what the procedure says. You got, I'm going to get, I'm going to get resistance. But if I come in, oh, I noticed how you had a couple of the kids over here sitting down and you gave them something to play with. That was awesome. How can we include all the other children? Yeah, I'm going to get a better response because I'm supporting them. And then you got the constructive feedback delivered to assist teachers in understanding misimplementation opportunities or how to improve implementation of a targeted teaching practice. Hand washing. Lord, how many times we teach hand washing? Or diaper changing. Provides the teacher with objective and specific information on how the implementation of the practice, activity, or interaction can be improved. If I don't give you that hand washing chart, you're not going to be able to practice it correctly. If I don't give you and go over the diapering procedures, you're not going to know how to do that correctly. So you're just going to take what I am and miss steps because you're not going to be able to remember, especially the diapering. And again, I'm just touching the base. We're not going into the coaching, but it's that same cycle pretty much. You got your orientation that you provided with the staff where you set the original goals. Your goal again could be to be a 3-star program. You're going to offer coaching and mentoring depending on what your staff is used to or what your program is able to do. You're going to observe the classrooms. Very important that you provide the observations, review it with the staff, and provide feedback. Okay, and then you set goals, and that cycle again continues. You look like you're writing down, so I can give you a second. Okay, and I'm briefly going to talk about the coach, how the coach and the teacher have a conversation. They identify the problem, they brainstorm and generate options together. The teacher leads the goal setting. You decide on a possible solution, implement and evaluate the solution. During the debriefing, one or multiple steps of the problem solving process might occur. Okay, like, just because you identify the problem, you may all of a sudden realize you have 3 others that you hadn't thought about that came out. And that happened to me with that one teacher. She just needed things to be more simple, and she really wanted it to go towards this way instead of where I felt she needed to go. So, but it helped her in the long run because I went the direction she wanted. All right. For a coaching, there's no corrective or directive statements are used. Instead, the coach asks powerful questions which require the teacher to reflect, focused on perception, feelings, interpretations, or use of strategies. Again, you can give the powerful question, same one I used in the coaching chain, you can send it as a resource. An active discussion between the coach and teacher with a goal of encouraging the teacher to think about his or her actions and how it affects others. Why are they doing what they're doing and how does it affect their run? Okay, participants will engage in activity as in a group. Each will put the correct strategy with the sample. This handout will be sent out before, okay, this is something that's given before and used during the groups. Once group is back together, they would give the correct answers and allow to comment. And I think this is all that's going to be inside that little handout that you sent, that you give out to them early. Okay. And all it is, it's going to have like a handout. It's going to be something like you share a videotape with the teacher on what you observed in the classroom. Which one would that be? Video review. You're watching and you're reviewing with the teacher what you saw them do, or you're having to help. Let's see. You notice the teachers is supposed to be supervising the kids, but you see that 2 of the kids are in the block area and she can't see them. What can you do? helping with environmental arrangement. Okay. It's just a matter of making sure you got low shelves so they can see whatever. And it could, so different feedback sessions, and you're going to provide the example and they have to put them together. Okay. That's something that's given to them. I love this is another protocol, peeling back the onion. One participant will share an issue you may have had at your program with the staff person. Again, this is something they're going to do in groups. Other participants will listen, ask questions for clarification, then have the opportunity to provide feedback. Okay. It could be something that they're dealing with now. Again, we'll talk about the confidentiality thing, and we ask them, preferably, if possible, don't give names, that type of thing. But it's just peeling back, what is the true problem? What's the issue? So that's the protocol that we use there. And then they have a self-assessment action plan that was sent to them. And this is where they can kind of reevaluate themselves and how they think things went. I wish I had a copy of it right here, but I don't have it. Where do you stand in terms of your own performance management system in your program? And if I remember correctly, ask questions like, are you doing classroom observations? Are you providing training to your staff? Or, things like that. It's just, are these things that you doing as a director? And then we review the objectives. And then close and move. I want them to at least tell me one thing they learned or they would want to try, and put that in the chat box with their name. Okay. Because that will be their closing. And if I had, well, we do have evaluations now. So, and that's pretty much it. And that's only for an hour. So